On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being fresh as a daisy, just woke up, 10 being you just birthed your 4th child. How do you feel?
2.
Let's not use that scale next time. Yeah. This is Ruth's blue belt test. Oh, she just tapped out her husband, or did you tap out her? So this is how you settle marital issues. It's very free counseling here, and as a benefit, you learn self-defense. How you feeling? How long have you been going?
I don't know.
Yeah, almost an hour now, 50 minutes?
Almost an hour. So the point of a blue belt test, she's marching up through all the curriculum. They're checking things off. Matter of fact, you want to take a close-up look at that checklist. It's a thick packet. Then they put them in particular positions to force her to work certain moves that she should know.
We're going against people that are, either younger or more agile or have a lot more years in training. And she's done a really good job of holding her own. I've been training her for a couple of years as opposed to Kelly, who's working on, 12 years or so with us now.
Wow,
something
12
like that.
years,
So,
okay. Would you be exhausted if you've been going for an hour? Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Gigi, who's helping me run Ruth's test, has a few things that she's observed, and she has trained with Ruth ever since she first began working in women's self-defense side of our program. So, what have you noticed?
I started training with Ruth when she first came here, and we were working on women's self-defense, on the ground, guard escapes, like everything. And I've seen her move up through the levels. And I noticed during her sparring, she was improvising things. Some techniques didn't quite work out, so she learned how to maneuver around it depending on the person. She could use their strength against them. And then I also noticed that her closest match through everyone that she sparred was Henry, who is our newest blue belt. So she is right up there. She is ready to go on the blue belt, and can't wait to have her.
It was really fun to watch. And the really neat thing, and the reason why we do these prolonged tests, where you end up going an hour 15, the reason why we do these tests is anyone can start off and put in a good 5-minute round. Or adrenaline takes over, your first 5-minute round isn't that great, but then the second 5-minute round is awesome. Anyone can do that in self-defense, they can muscle through it. The reason why we do these prolonged tests is we want to see what happens when your body starts to fail you, when you're exhausted, or your hand starts to have nerve issues and you can't use it properly, and you've got to adapt to one solid hand and an arm that works for you, right? So that's the idea in watching that adaptation. And if you rewind a couple of years back when you first started, that adaptation would have been like, I don't know what to do, I'm just done. And maybe I'll just start kicking like crazy, but that's all I've got left, right? Instead, you had an entire bag of tricks to try to work around that. And that's what we expect out of our blue belts. We don't expect perfection, but we expect that ability to adapt. So, yeah, well done. So, for those of you out there who might not be familiar with our belt system here, we have one belt all the way through to black belt. And for women's self-defense, we've got a pink camo bar that fills all the way up. And so when our women do training, they do our women's self-defense program, and then they dive into the main self-defense program that we call the armor circuit. But every single test, they've got a test on the women's program as well. That's the most important thing that she's going to be using for the rest of her life from a self-defense standpoint. That's why we front load them. So every single level, she's got to essentially test twice. So right now we're bringing her up to that blue, signifying that she has tested out of what we expect for her skills in women's self-defense at the white belt level. But then we come over here, because we have one belt all the way through, the large stripe on here is the belt rank, and then we have 4 stripes on the bar. And going up to blue here today. Congratulations.
Yeah!